Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is how to use add underscore months function in PySpark. So this is one of the date functions in PySpark. So this is mainly used for data manipulation by adding a specific number of months to a date column. So we'll see first what is the syntax. The syntax is like add underscore months, and inside that you need to pass two arguments. So one is start underscore date, one more is months to add. So here we'll see one by one argument. So first, what is start underscore date? So this can be column, the column containing dates. So the dates must be what are the dates containing this particular column, that must be data type of either date type, timestamp type, or string type. So if it is a string type, that can be cached to one of these types. If it is a string, you may need to explicitly convert it to a date type using to underscore date for correct behavior. So that means if column is in either date type or timestamp type, so we can directly use this function, add underscore months function, we can directly use it. If it is a string type, then first we need to cast it to date type by using to underscore date. So next, what is months to add? So this is an integer value or a column of integers representing the number of months to add. Suppose I have one particular date. So for particular date, I want to add some 6 months. So that can be mentioned either in the form of integer value or a column of number of months. So those integer values, we can mention it. So this, it can be negative to subtract months. So as per add underscore months, this months underscore to add. So normally we'll pass positive numbers. If you're passing positive numbers, that means we are adding the months. Suppose if you're passing negative value, then we are subtracting the months. So once we use this function, so what will get written is the date column, that is months after start. So that means based on this date, it will add the months. If a month is a negative value, then these amounts of months will be deducted from the start. So if here positive means it will add, if it is negative means it will subtract. So here we'll see few examples. Suppose my requirement is I want to add 1 year. So the function is like add underscore months, and inside that we need to pass the column, that is date column, and for that I want to add 12 months. So here 12 months means that is this one. So months underscore add, months underscore to underscore add. So this is integer value, that is 12. So since it is positive, so we are adding 1 year. 12 means 12 months. So for current date, we are adding 12 months. That means we are adding 1 year. Suppose if you want to subtract 1 year, so we have to uh, pass negative value. So minus 12 means we are subtracting 12 months from this date column. Suppose if you want to add 365 days. So here we are passing as months. Suppose if you want to pass in the form of days, then you mention the days, 365 days, but with the syntax date underscore add. So this add underscore months, it is only for adding the months. For adding dates, we need to use date underscore add. So I will create separate video for this, how to use date underscore add. But this video is mainly focused on add underscore months. So now we'll jump onto uh, examples how to use this function. So first my scenario is how to get a date after 1 year. So for this, what I'm doing, so I'm importing the functions. So like call current underscore date and add underscore months. So these functions I'm importing here. So initially I'm creating one sample data frame. So here what I'm doing, I'm writing spark dot range one. So spark dot range one means I want one row here. So for that one row, I want to add these columns. So here I'm writing dot select. So my first column is today. My first column name is today. That is this one. And what is the value is current underscore date. So that means today's date, it will print here. So for second column, what I'm doing here, I'm using add underscore months function. So as per syntax, so first we need to pass the column. So either we can pass the column or we can pass the function like this. So current underscore date means that is today date. Suppose you assume that today is 2026 to 14. So for that I'm adding 12. So here 12 means 12 months I'm adding. So here what is the month? 02. For 02 we are adding 12 months. So that means exactly 1 year. So what will happen? 2026 become 2027. So this date will be same, 2 comma 40. So that means here 1 year. So after 1 year. So next one is, so my column name also I mentioned like that, after 1 year. Suppose I want before 6 months. So that means same syntax. So I'm passing negative value. So minus 6 means before 6 months. If you see here, 2026 to February. So minus 6 means here 2 months. And if you go minus 4 in 2025. So that will get here 2025, 8, 40. That means if you add 6 months to this, you will get this value. And a similar way, here I am adding 3 months. Since I given positive, that is after 3 months. So here month is 2. After adding 3 months, we'll get 5. 2026, 5, 40. So this how we can add one, we can add the date after 1 year. So next is how to get date before 1 year. That means negative value subtracts month. So here also I'm using same syntax, but only difference is negative value. So dot select. So today is current date. That is column name I given alias today. So that is today's date. So next add underscore months current date. That is today date and minus 12. So minus 12 means minus 1 year. So what it become 2025 to 40. So that is before 1 year. Next add underscore months current date minus 6. So that means before 6 months. So if you do minus 6 for this, we'll get this. Okay, so this how we can calculate how to get date after 1 year and before 1 year. Next scenario is if you have a date column. So if you see here, I have sample data frame here. So I have columns like employee underscore name, age, city, start date. So that means if you here, if you use current underscore date, you are getting directly date column. So that means your input is date column. In case if your date column is string type. So whenever you create like this data frame by using data and by using create data frame. So here I'm pausing this data and my columns I defined here, and these are all the my columns. So in this start underscore date is the this. Since we are passing as string type, our data type also will get string type. So then what you have to do, if you see at the first scenario here, start underscore date. So the columns should be either date type or timestamp or string type. So first scenario is a date type. So now we have string type. So whenever we have string type, what we need to do, we need to convert the data type using to underscore date to change the data type from string to date type. So either you can use to underscore date or cast of date. So now we'll see this one second, yeah, this scenario. So first I'm creating by using spark dot create a data frame, and on top of that I'm using with column, and my column name is same column I'm taking because same same column I want to overwrite. Overwrite means I want to change the data type from string to date. So I mentioned my column name, that is start underscore date, and here I'm using cached date. So you can use either cast of date or to underscore date. So either of the function you can use it. So once you convert this one, so you will get this one, this start underscore date as date column. So either you can see here or you can see here. Since I used to print schema, you will get here schema, that is start underscore date equal to date. On top of this, what I'm doing, so for this, my first what I'm doing, add new column that adds 12 months to each date in the start underscore date column. So my input column is this one, start underscore date. So for this, I'm adding 12 months. So how am I doing? Dot with column, and I'm giving new column name is next 1 year, next year date. So add underscore months. So my column name is start underscore date, and I'm giving months as 12. And if you see here, 2020, 10, 25. So after 1 year means what you'll get? 2010. So this is our input mm, column. 2020, 10, 25. So we are adding 12 months to this. That means exact 1 year. So 2020 will become 2021, 10, 25. Here 2013 will become 2014. Same will get 10, 11. 2015 will get 2016, 10, 7. Similar way, 2022 will become 2023. 2021 become 22. 21 become 22. So that means for existing column, it adds 1 year date. So next one is add a new column that adds 3 months to each date in the start underscore date column. So here we saw how it added 12 months data, that is 1 year data. So here we'll see 3 months. So here 2020, 10, 25. If we add 3 months, so it will become 21, 1, 25. 3 months. So here 2013, 10, 11. So that means 2014, 1, 11. So similar way here also. 2015, 10, 17, 2016, 1, 17. So that means 3 months will get add for each value. And similar way, I want to add new column that subtract 12 months to each date in the start underscore date. If you see, this is our input column. So for this, we are minusing minus 12 months. So that means 2020 will become 2019. 2013 will become 12. 2015 will become 14. 2022 become 21. 21 becomes 20. Here 21 becomes 20. So next, similar way, add a new column that is subtract 6 months to each date in the start underscore date column. So that means for this date, we are minusing 6 months. So from 10th month, this is 10th month. If you minus 6, it will become 4. So here 10, it become 4. So here also this 10 will become 4. And this 12 become 6. And 4, 21, 4. So minus 6 means it will become 2020, 10. And here 2021, 6. So 6 months it will become 2020 to 1. Okay, so like this it will calculate the, means it will add the months. So as I told initially, so we can use date underscore add function also to add the months by using 365 days. But this is not fully accurate because leap years have 365 days. So best practice is to use add underscore months function. So but for knowing purpose, we'll see how to add date underscore add. So for our sample data frame, I'm using with column and I want to get after 1 year. So this is my input column and I'm creating one more new column that is adding 12 months. So here I'm using date underscore add function. Okay, so date underscore add, I'm passing the column name. So that is this one, start underscore date. So for this, I'm adding 365 days. So that means 365 days means 1 year. 2020 will become 21. 2013 will become 14. 2015 will become 2016. And if you see here, so here 25, 25, that means 2010, 25. So 1 year means 365 days means 2021, 10, 25. So 2013, 10, 11, 2014, 10, 11. But if you see here, 2015, 10, 17, it become 2016, 10, 16. So it is not 17, 16. So that is the meaning here. So that's why it is mentioned, it is not fully accurate. And a similar way, 2023 become 22 become 23, 21 become 22, this 21 become 22. So whenever you want to add the months or year, better to use add underscore months function uh, instead of date underscore add. So next one is how to handle end of the month. So add underscore months automatically adjust for month end dates. So that means, so this is my sample data frame 2026 131. So that means end of the month, and 2025 to 28. That is end of the month 331. So that is end of the month 630, end of the month. So by using Spark dot create data frame, I am creating the data frame, but we will get date column, in the form of string values. So on top of that, what I'm doing, dot with column and same date column. So since I'm giving date means I want to replace same column name and call of date dot cast to date. So that means we are converting from string to date type. And on top of that, with column, my new column name is next underscore month. Here I'm using add underscore months. And here I'm passing this date. So that means this one. And I am giving one here. So that means I want to add 1 month. So first this one, it will create single column, that is this one, but with string data type. And after applying this with column, so this column, it will convert from string to date type. So next here what we are doing, I'm adding the column, that is next month. So how it is generating, for this each date, I'm adding 1 month. So here I given one. So one means adding 1 month. So 2026, this one becomes two. 2025, two. Two becomes three. 2025, three. Three becomes four. 2025, six becomes seven. See here input I took all dates are end of the month. And if you see here exactly, it will add 1 month. And if you see here, add underscore months automatically adjust for month and dates. So, and here one more thing, here 228 is there. So after adding 1 month, it won't give you like end of the month, like 331. So exactly it will add 1 month. So next one is dynamic months. So using column value. So months added based on another column value. So if you see our initial thing, this months underscore add. So we need to pass in two ways. So one is an integer value or a column of integers representing the number of months to add. So as of now, what we saw, so we simply mentioned passing the value, passing the value for one particular column. Okay, so for each column, we are passing different months. So, but here, what we are doing is, so here, what we are doing is, in data itself, input to data itself, I'm creating one more column, that is months to add. So those integer values I'm passing here only. So that is months to add column, that is integer values are there. So it can be positive or negative. So based on this data, what it generates is it creates a sample data frame with two columns, that is start underscore date. So one is here start underscore date. One more is months to add. So that is this one. So now we have two columns. So up to here, up to this code, it will generate these two columns. On top of that, what I'm doing, start underscore date. This one I am converting from string to date type by using cast method. So now it is date type. On top of that, what I'm doing, I'm creating new column, that is new underscore date. So here I'm doing add underscore months. Here start underscore date. So this is the column and my number of months equal to that. I am passing the column name here. Call months to add, this one. Call months to add means this one. So that means for this particular value, so this many months will get added. And if you see here 2025, 1, 1. And how many months I'm going to add? 2 months. So here currently month 1 is there, that will become 3. And 2, 1 is there. So I'm going to add 1 month. So that means this 2 become 3. 2025, 3, 1. So that means March 1st and number of months to add is 0. So we'll get same date. And here 2025, 4, 1. So for this, I'm doing -1. So that means 1 month will get reduced. That means 2025, 3, 1 will get. So 2025, 5, 1. So for this, I'm reducing 2 months. So that is 2025, 3, 1. So 2025, 6, 1. For this, I'm doing -3. So that means 3 months I'm reducing. So this become 2025, 3, 1. And similar way, 2025, 7, 1. So for this, I am reducing 4 months. So that means 2025, this 7 becomes 3, 3, 1. So now our last scenario is how to use SQL query. So my initial data frame, that is df underscore dt. So what very initially I created data frame. The is df underscore after df underscore dt. So that is this one. So this data frame by using create or replace temp view, I'm creating one temporary view that is called orders. So after creating temp view, what I'm doing, I'm using spark.sql and inside that I'm writing the SQL code. Okay, so either here you can do either spark.sql or you can directly use new cell and you can write your SQL code there. So only up to here you can write here. So create or replace temp view will be in one cell. In other cell, you will write only this SQL code. So that is SQL way of writing the code. This is Spark SQL way of writing the code. So here what I'm doing, select start underscore date. So that is my some source input column, start underscore date. It is already in date format because we converted from string to date. And I'm creating one more column that is after 1 year. That is this one. How we are creating? By using function add underscore months. And this is the input column. And we are passing 12. That means we are adding 12 months. 2020, 10, 25. That means 1 year. This will become 2021, 10, 25. 2013, 10, 11. So 2013 become 2014. Similar way, 2015 become 16. Okay, 22, 23, 21, 22, 21, 20. So like this, it will add. So this is the way of writing in SQL. And similar way, uh, as I told initially, so the data types can be of either date type or timestamp type. So we covered as of now date type and string type. So similar way we can apply for timestamp also. So we'll see with a small example how to do that. So here I forget to add the syntax. So one thing what we can do is I can copy same code, but instead of current underscore date, I can use current underscore timestamp. And same thing, I will import here. First, I will import here current date, current timestamp. So first I will import, then I will create this one. So I will mention underscore ts timestamp. So now what will happen? We'll run the code. Instead of today's date, I will mention today's date time or timestamp. Since I given spark.range1, it will print one row. And what it print is, since I used to select statement, and inside that I passed current underscore timestamp. That means today's timestamp it will print, and column name is today. Since we are using select, we need to pass the alias. So our first column name will be today. If you see here today, so that is our today's date in the form of timestamp. If you place mouse here, see this is timestamp. So earlier it is date type. So here date type. So here timestamp. And on top of this, what I'm doing, add underscore months. Okay, so I'm just to add here instead of current date, I'm mentioning current timestamp. Okay, so here 2026 3/6, that is today's date, and this is the time. So hour, minute, second, and milliseconds plus 00 means this one time zone. So what is my first column? That is this one today. That is by using current underscore timestamp. And the second month is by using add underscore months, current underscore timestamp. That means today's date and time. For that, I'm adding 12 months. That means after 1 year. If you see here 2026, 3/6, it will become 2027, 3/6. But it will give you only the date. It won't give you the time. So it will ignore time. It will give you only date. So similar way, current underscore timestamp -6 means it will minus 6 months from this date. So here 3 months will go, and next another 3 months is December, November, October. So that date will get here 2025 9/6. And similar way here 2026 3/6. So here we are adding 3 months. That means this 3 becomes 6. 2026 6/6. So only difference is whether you pass date type or timestamp type, you will get output as date only. So same kind of example you can use here also by using manual way, like what we can do is same sample I can modify here. So this value I can add time here zeros. So hour, minute, second. So after creating data frame, since it comes string type, so we need to use to underscore timestamp. So whenever you have date and that date has a string type, we'll use to underscore date to convert from string to date. But in case of timestamp string, to convert, we had to use to underscore timestamp. So here, what I will do, underscore ts, and here also underscore ts, and similar way here also underscore ts. Okay, so now I'll try to print this one. So start date. This, see here, since I casted to date, it coming in the date format. So what I will do, I will change to timestamp format. See, now we are getting timestamp values. On top of this, what I'm doing, I will copy same syntax. I will change only variable name. So this is df underscore dt, that is underscore ts. So now sample data frame name is this one, and start underscore date. So instead of date, for timestamp, what I will mention, start underscore timestamp. Instead of date, I will mention timestamp. Start, otherwise start time I will mention. So same thing, I will copy paste here. So now column name will get changed, like start underscore time, and same thing I'll pass here. So here variable name I will change to ts, and similar way here also. So if I try to run this one, even though our input is timestamp, so what I will do, with column, since it is with column, we are getting all the columns. Instead of that, okay, so let it be these three columns. So now our input is this one, start underscore time. But in case of earlier, if you see here, start underscore date is our input column. So here date is there, and here timestamp is there. So this is our timestamp value. So here what we are doing, so first by using add underscore months, so start time, that is this one. So we are adding 12 months. That means 2020 will become 21, and the date and month will be same because exactly 1 year. So 2013 becomes 14, 2015 becomes 16, 2022 becomes 23, this 21 becomes 22, 21 becomes 22. Similar way, 3 months. So for these 3 months, so 10 means 10, 11, 12, 1. So 3 months. So here also 3 months for this 3 months. Okay, so for each value, it will add 3 months. And a similar way, minus 12. That means 2020 will become 2019. 2013, it will become 2012. 2015, it will become 14. 2022, it will become 29. 2021 become 20. 2021 becomes 2020. And a similar way, minus 6. So from this value, minus 6 means we'll get, and so on. But if you observe here, even though our input is timestamp, we are getting output in the form of date. Okay, so now we covered all the scenarios like date type, timestamp type, and string by using add underscore months function. So that's all about this video. If you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.